Good afternoon, I'm meteorologist John Marshall, and folks, we do have history in the making right now. The most powerful hurricane to ever affect the Florida Panhandle is happening and will occur over the next, let's say, between now and 3 hours from now. So we have a major situation developing with this storm. It has winds right now, as of the noon hour, when this is going streaming live, of 150 miles an hour. Sustained. Folks, this is a classic textbook hurricane. I mean, you don't have to be a meteorologist to look at this thing and say, holy smokes, wow. It is heading right between Panama City and Mexico Beach, Florida. Folks, the eye of this storm is concentric, it's symmetric. It is, as we said, a classic textbook looking hurricane. Unfortunately for the Panhandle, the worst storm since records have been kept for areas just west of Apalachicola, Florida, through Panama City. They're going to see almost a Category 5, the highest on the scale of 1 to 5, hit that area, probably making landfall, this eye, within the next 1 to 3 hours. Again, the eye has winds of 100, and just outside the eye wall has winds of 150 miles an hour. Just in from the National Hurricane Center, 150 mile an hour sustained winds about to affect a large population in the resort areas of the Panama City, Mexico Beach area. Unfortunately, a couple days ago, this storm was not supposed to be this strong. The National Hurricane Center did not expect a near Category 5 to make landfall along the Florida Panhandle. Unfortunately, this will be a devastating blow to that area. Just think about it, sustained winds of that magnitude. It only needs about 5 more mile-an-hour winds to classify it as a Category 5. But this thing is a monster. It has grown in the backwaters of the Gulf of Mexico with continuing ocean water temperatures of about 85, 86 degrees. So these storms can form this time of the year. It developed out of the Caribbean and came up through the Yucatan Peninsula and continued to strengthen. There's nothing going to weaken it, folks, but it will bump up against land in the next 2 hours. That will start the weakening cycle. If this had some more time over this Gulf of Mexico bathtub-like water, it would continue to strengthen. But again, 150 mile an hour storm is a devastating blow to the Panhandle of Florida. Now, we're going to take a look at the radar. And as we take a look at the radar, one area of significant banding is occurring around the north side of this eye. That is the extreme wind that is going to blow through north and west of Apalachicola, through Mexico Beach, and through Panama City. The storm is moving north-northeast at 14 miles an hour, and again, will make landfall in the next 2 hours. I'm going to take some of your comments now, folks. An incredibly serious situation going on here. Yes, we are, who do we have here? Chris, we are praying for everyone in the storm's path, absolutely. Godspeed to those people down there. And as we continue on here, it is really going to be another nightmare for portions of the southeast. Here's Robert Woods. I'm surprised they haven't had winds consistent of tropical storm yet or higher. Robert, this area right here, from Apalachicola through Panama City, has sustained winds between 40 and 70 miles an hour. The core of the hurricane's winds are about 45 miles in diameter. The eye is about 18 miles in diameter. Remember, it is a beautiful day in the center of this eye right now. It is calm. It is like an ice skater spinning around, and that's where it is, the tightness of that storm in the core of that ice skater and how he or she spins around, and everything just going around that pinpoint, which is the eye right there. So we've got a lot to talk about, folks. This storm will continue to move and then weaken significantly with the winds, but it will still carry hurricane force winds into the portions of interior Panhandle of Florida. Tallahassee, Florida will see hurricane force winds, and this storm track takes it through the area of the Panhandle of Florida. I wanted to show you this graphic. I got this from the National Hurricane Center just now. What happens is, how do we find out about these storms and how strong they are? Well, the up-to-date information comes from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft. That is flying currently right through the eye of the storm. And they've had actually 2 planes go through over the last couple of days. And they come out of Biloxi, Mississippi. They're C-130s. This is the flight pattern. And the colors are just the different levels of intensity of wind. This area right here of wind is about 145 knots, which correlates almost to 165 miles an hour, where this plane at flight level is flying. And there it is right there. So it makes cross sections of the eye. And here's the coast of the panhandle of Florida right there. So this is how we get all of the up-to-date information. We talk about the aircraft that fly in, and when I do these assemblies, I tell these kids that these crafts can sustain these type of significant wind, if you will. So this is how we get our information. And the pressure is rock bottom. It is still dropping like a rock. We have a lot of people chiming in here. I'm going to show you its path. Jen, my buddy's, one of my fraternity brother's wives, says, what's up with the path? Where is it heading? Well, let's get into that right now. Great question, Jen. The track of this thing will take it through southern Georgia. Huge high pressure is over the western Atlantic, and that's what steered it to the north. But now an upper level low is developing over the central plains. That is going to kick the storm up through interior southern Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, which does not need any more severe or flooding rains. They're going to get it, but it's going to be a quick moving storm. It will miss, again, the storm will miss the New York City tri-state area as the upper level flow is just too strong and will push out of the west. So keep that storm on a track that will go out to sea. But again, the storm means business, okay? What do we have here? Robert Woods, I love that graphic with the plane. Hey, listen, man, I'm here for you guys, okay? What I don't do on TV, I will do for you here live streaming. And he's talking about how this plane comes out of Mississippi and it just makes a cross section into the eye of the hurricane. And what we see are the different intensity of wind. And that is the color differentiation here. That color right there is extreme. I don't have the legend because it was off the graphic. 165 mile an hour sustained winds at flight level. That's why the hurricane now is up to a wind speed of 150 at the surface. We've never seen this before. We've never seen this before hit the coast the way it will be in the next couple of hours. Landfall will happen between, let's say, 2 and 3 o'clock, somewhere between Panama City and Mexico Beach, Florida. Complete devastation. This caught a lot of people off guard. The National Hurricane Center did not predict a near Category 5 hurricane 2 to 3 days ago at all. You know, these things have the mind of their own, and I hopefully people heeded the warnings. Here we got another question right here. Jim Vargo, will the storm strengthen once it gets into the Atlantic? Yeah, what's going to happen is these power machines lose their energy source, which is the bathtub-like water. Once it gets over land, friction rips apart this core. You will not see this core like this after midnight tonight once it makes landfall. It will still be a formidable hurricane, but nothing like this. I mean, this is just a buzzsaw. So once it goes over land, it will lose its intensity, but it will go back over the water, as we showed you that one track. What time is that? I don't know, 7 Thursday night? And it will become a little stronger. But then it's getting involved with the atmospheric dynamics of the westerly and the jet stream and energy riding through the trough that's kicking everything out to sea. Again, it's not going to affect the New York City tri-state area. What we're going to have around here, and here's the 5-day forecast. You know, everybody's like, John, it's like London out there. It's been humid. We've had fog and drizzle every single morning. It's crazy. Okay, high pressure, that light southerly flow, moisture trapped at the surface. That is why this has happened. Clouds to sun today, temperatures getting up to near 80 degrees. It will be humid. Tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms on and off. There will be dry times. There will also be times where the rain will be torrential. This is not Hurricane Michael influenced. This is just the trough of low pressure and cold front that will be working toward the tri-state area. It will be very humid tomorrow. Now, tomorrow night into early Friday morning, a little tropical plume comes up because of the proximity of the storm down over the Virginia Capes and offshore. So some scattered showers Thursday night into Friday morning at the coast early in the morning, and then we break out of this pattern. Temperatures much cooler in the mid-60s, much less humid Friday, some partly sunny skies, breezy conditions. And right now, the weekend looks absolutely fantastic around here. Temperatures will be within a few degrees of 60. 60, folks. It's going to feel very chilly. The average high temperature this time of the year in the New York City tri-state area is about 68, 69 degrees. Again, the main concern right now is we go back to that satellite loop, because we will never see a storm, hopefully never like this again, affecting the United States. This is nearing Category 5 strength. Michael has winds of 150 miles an hour sustained. It continues to move to the north-northeast and will make landfall over the next couple of hours with winds of 150 miles an hour. If the land wasn't there, this thing possibly would be a Category 5. It still can be if it strengthens. It is strengthening rapidly right now. So again, we're at extreme right now to catastrophic damage expected for the area from Apalachicola through Panama City. Folks, you know where to get a no-nonsense, no-hype forecast at www.johnmarshallweather.com. I appreciate you guys following me, telling it like it is, and stay tuned to the forecast. Have a great afternoon, and let's think about those people down over the panhandle of Florida. Take care.